the fourth entry. And he says, the Bet Halevi, Rabbi Basar Badam Ba Mitoch Shichat Hashem. He says, the fear of flesh and blood comes from forgetting about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He says, Rabbi Basar Badam Mivor Pasuk Zeh, Ba Mitzah Shichat Ba Hashem Yitbarach. It's clear from the Torah that a person who fears people, it's because you forgot about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. K'ma'amar HaKatuv, Mi at v'ter'i me'enosh. Pasuk says in Yeshaya, who are you? You should be afraid of people. Right? Yamut u'miben adam hatzi yinaten. You should be afraid of mortal humans who die. And you should be afraid of men who will be made as grass. V'tishkach Hashem osecha noteh shamayim yosed aretz tifhat tamid. You have forgotten Hashem, the Maker, who spread out the heavens and set the foundations of the earth. You are terrified continually. The Pasuk says, you know why you're afraid of a man who is flesh and blood, who is going to die one day, who Hashem takes him from this world one day? It's because you forgot about Kadosh Baruch Hu created the world. Person has to know, Hashem is the one who says why everything, how it should be and why it should be, and He's the one who makes the decrees. So therefore, a person should not fear this person, because this person can only do what Kadosh Baruch Hu allows him to do. So therefore, if you deserve, you're going to get damaged, no matter what ishtadut you do. And if you don't deserve, so a person cannot do to you no matter how much they try. So therefore, a person should never fear a person. You should only fear HaKadosh Baruch Hu. As the Baal Shem Tov, before his father passed away, his father made him promise. Promise me one thing. You should never fear anybody except HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You should not even fear. People say, oh, but they're going to put the God on me, or they're going to do these bad things to me. At the end of the day, who said the demons have power? Hashem gave them power. So if Hashem doesn't want to give them power, Hashem won't give them. It all depends on how Hashem decrees. Therefore, a person should never be fearful of somebody. The only reason you get hurt is because you of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Therefore, you be fearful of Him, not because of people. And therefore, that's why when the Torah promises you and Torah supports you, and Hashem says, don't be fearful, then you have nothing to worry about. That's it. Hashem is the one who can allow and not allow. There's the famous story of Ovadia, Alav Shalom, where he took away that slaughterer's license, and because he was doing monkey business, and he was cheating people and doing non-kosher things, and he was lying to people, serving them telefui. He took away his license and didn't have parnasah. Many years afterwards, when he was in Israel, this slaughterer found him, this shochet found him, knocked on his door as if he was going to ask a question, came into his living room, took out a gun, and held it to Rav Adia's face, and he says, give me back my license or else I'll shoot you. And what did Rav Adia do, alav shalom? He says, Lo tagur mipnei ish, the Torah says, do not be fearful of any man. And he says, no, I will not give you back your license. You don't deserve it. You cannot force me. He says, I'll kill you. He had a gun to his face. I'm not afraid. And he was so strong and had no fear of it because he had so much emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, was doing the right thing. Hashem will protect him. And in the end, the guy chickened out and ran away. So you see, a person who has bitachon on Hashem has nothing to fear, even with a gun to his face, even when you have flesh and blood in his face. The first Lubavitcher Rebbe, Shlomo Zalman Eliadi, right, who wrote the Tanya, it was a famous story about him. He was in jail. And they go and they interrogated him, and they said, you teach a lot of Torah, and you are spreading religion, it's not allowed. And they took a gun out, and they said, where is your God now? Where is your God going to help you now? And he says, they saw he wasn't afraid. And he said, why are you not afraid? He says, this gun that you have only makes people afraid who believe in many gods and one world. I believe in one God and two worlds. If I die now in Kiddush Hashem, I go straight to Olam Haba. What do I have to be afraid of you? I don't am afraid of this. Only people who believe after this world, they're nowhere, they're in the ground, and then their life doesn't continue, then they're afraid. How the Chazal, our sages, were never afraid of any person. They were only afraid of doing Hashem's will. So therefore, that's what a person has to do. As the Pasuk in Yov says, K'ma'amar Katuv, Hu behad u'mi yishivenu. He is unique. Who can contradict him? No one can force an agenda that HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want to exist. Therefore, a person has to know that we should only be fearful of God and nobody else. As someone who's walking down at night with the police, right? You're walking in a dangerous area where you have the police escorting you. You're not afraid. The police are just people seeing the police on you. They're not going to be messed with you. That's how a person has to feel when he is walking in the street with HaKadosh Baruch Hu with him all the time escorting you. And therefore, you should know, if this is going to happen to you, it's because Hashem wanted to. And if it's not going to happen to you, no matter what, you could put 1,000,000 locks, you get robbed. If you put 0 locks, but you have a Emunah on Kadosh Baruch Hu, then you won't get robbed, even if you have 0 locks. Why? Because first you have the decree from Hashem, and then afterwards it'll happen. But if you zuchet to have protection from Hashem, who do you have to be fearful? No one could contradict Kadosh Baruch Hu.